Hello, this is Shavik, and the topic which is given to us today is what are the key indicators that demonstrate that agile practices are working in our organization? So, in simple words, how to measure the organization's agility? I normally get this question from senior leadership that whether the team or the project or the organization is agile or not. Organizations are normally investing a lot of money for agility to gain competitiveness in the market, right? And after the investment that they have made in procuring the enterprise version of Jira, or maybe sending people for trainings, getting them certified, or investing in relevant tools, or even hiring people like us, like people like Scrum Masters and coaches, they have all the right in the world to know whether the organization is really agile. So basically, they want to know, if their product delivery is improved or not. How much happier are their customers now? Are the employees satisfied and enabled? Yeah. And being a scrum master or a coach, how I am going to respond back to them? How will I know all of this? Am I going to use my gut feeling? Well, no, right? We need to look for some key indicators to respond back, right? To tell the leadership team what's the state of agility in our organization is. So actually, there are dozens of options out there, developed by brilliant agile minds. Unfortunately, there are many more metrics that are useless. Do you agree with me? There are many more metrics that are useless. Have you heard about vanity metrics? They look good and they make you feel good, but they offer very little in the way of, actionable value. And based on my personal experience, I have found there are four areas we need to focus to measure the organization's ability to, or a team's ability to deliver business value. Uh, the the first area, the first area is unrealized value. The second one is current value. The third one is the time to. It's better to start with the current value area first. It's like a GPS that tells the org that where they are at the moment. It's like a barometer to measure the agility. Each organization defines the value differently, but there are some metrics which we can use to measure the values. So I have used customer satisfaction in the past to track how satisfied the customers are with our product or our services. We can use the product cost ratio, which measures the amount of money spent versus earned every sprint. Then there are other value metrics can be the other value metrics can be employee satisfaction, yeah, the churn rate, the revenue per employee, and so forth. So the idea here is to first measure the current value and define what's the value according to your organization. Next, try to find where the organization want to be. That is unrealized value. So if the organization discovered that their state of agility is not desirable enough to reach the unrealized value, there is a need to step back and measure the metrics under the time to market area. So the metrics and the time to market area, it's more towards the flow of work, like cycle time, lead time, throughput, mean time to resolution, frequency of releases, frequency of build, and so forth. So after viewing and analyzing and generating some insight out of the metrics under time to market area, if it's discovered that the flow of delivery is still not desirable enough, I like to step back and look at the metrics under the ability to innovate area. The metrics under this area can tell you a lot that what are the constraints that is impeding the agility. Yeah. Okay. Let me explain it with a situation I experienced in the past. So a couple of years back, I joined a program as an external consultant, which is already working in a Spotify model for more than a year. So one fine morning, the tribe lead set up a call with me along with all the scrum masters. He invited all the scrum masters from all the squads within the tribe, and he said that he was dissatisfied with the state of agility. We were asked to find out why the tribe is not at the desirable state from his point of view. So the first question which I asked is, what are the metrics that you are looking at and which is making you dissatisfied with the state of agility? So, he told me that they don't have any metrics other than velocity. And which he also felt that it was useless for him as a tribe lead to make a decision. So what I did next is I worked with the other Scrum Master for next few weeks, and we came up with few metrics under the ability to innovate, like uh, number of prod incident, the tech deaths, what is the defect rate, number of active branches, or number of time the developers are context switching, and so forth. So, and I told him that the reason why he is not seeing the metric under the time to market in a desirable state, because of the constraint we can see from the metrics under this ability to innovate state. So to improve the flow of value delivery, it is very important that we need to influence the metrics under the ability to innovate first by and to make some changes in the metrics, or make some improvement in the metrics under this ability to innovate. We have to make some fundamental organizational changes. So, so that's a quick example, a quick experience that I want to share with you guys. So whenever I am asked to come up with the key indicators that demonstrate that agile practices are working in my team or project, I follow this workflow. I measure the current value, keeping in mind what is the value is according to the project or according to my organization, and then I measure the unrealized value, like where I want to be or where the organization want to be. If I discover that the current value is not at a desirable state to reach the unrealized value, I look at the metrics under the time to market. If flow of the value is not at a desired state, I look at the metrics under the ability to innovate. And most of the time, the constraint which are impeding value can be viewed by the metrics under the ability to innovate. And this whole concept is actually taken from a framework called EBM, that is event based management, and it is one of the recommended. This whole concept is actually taken from a framework called EBM, that is event based management, and it is one of the recommended framework by Scrum.org. So I'll suggest you guys to explore more on this at Scrum.org site. Yeah, and before ending my video, let me quickly sum it up. Measuring metrics from these four key value areas in EBM will help to improve the organization's capabilities and product delivery practices. It drives the ability to make informed and evidence-based decisions for learning and continuous improvement. And creating a culture of continuous improvement puts organization on the path of competitive advantage. Well, thanks for listening. Cheers.